Myth number 2, Liv, is that you should buy your own home first. Why is that a myth?
This is probably one of my favorite ones to talk about. Because generally, well, where does this come from? So first of all, there's the great Australian dream of owning your own home. It was actually designed by, first of all, the American banks to convince you to be the little minion to go to your 9-to-5 job to have you pay down a 30-year mortgage that then Australia started copying. But do you know what the common factor or the biggest tool that I used was not living in my own home?
Yes.
That helped me fast track my wealth. It's called rent vesting. We talk a lot about it. And the thing that I see that holds a lot of people back from building their wealth much quicker is not living in their first home and instead building a property portfolio to then building capital to then pay off or buy that dream home.
But hang on a second, Liv, right? Isn't a home an investment? Like, can't they just buy their first investment to live in?
Sure, you can, and sure, we'll go up with capital growth. A quote from Robert Kiyosaki is your home is technically a liability because it doesn't produce income. So one of the reasons why and how it can help by not living in your own home is, number one, is if you were to move out into the house, let's just say you own a house and you move out next door. All of a sudden, you can claim things on that house that you couldn't if you lived in it. So those things such as interest rates, mortgage repayments, water bills, building insurance, these sort of things, all of a sudden they would become a tax deductible expenses that you were already paying for. And then there's also like maintenance and upkeep and stuff like that. Now, these things, not only can they help from a tax deduction perspective, but guess what? They can actually be added back on to your borrowing capacity. They can help your lending. So all of a sudden, on paper, you've gone from like this big debt weighing you down, you being the little minion going to your 9-to-5 job to pay it off. And the bank's like, oh, hang on. Now you're not paying it off. You've got somebody else paying it off for you. So here we go. We'll give you more borrowing. And this is typically the thing that most people need to move forward at the start. And so this is the thing that can absolutely, it's like power boost at the start of building your wealth.
There's a couple of other reasons as well, actually. So
yeah, there's heaps.
There's tons of reason why buying your own home first might not be a good idea. Now, before I go on to a tirade about this, I'm going to preface this by saying that it's only a bad idea to buy your own home first if your goal is to accelerate your finances, your financial position, right? If your goal is not that, if becoming wealthy and doing all that kind of stuff, if that is not a high priority for you, and that some people listening to this might be thinking, what, am I being sarcastic or taking the piss? And I'm like, no, I'm being serious. Like, for some people, that is not as important as creating a nest for their family, right? Their emotional needs are greater than their financial needs. And there's nothing wrong with that. So I don't like it when people try and paint a picture that the only way that you can ever have value in life is if you become rich, right? Or become wealthy. That's not true, right? The goal is to become happy and fulfilled, right? Now, if though you do believe that building wealth and creating financial freedom is going to give you a greater platform to have that life of fulfillment, which is what I believe and which is what you believe, then you're highly incentivized to accelerate your financial position, to build wealth, to become wealthy, and to become financially free.